What if the characters from My Hero Academia had teams of 6 Pokemon? That's it, that's the concept, let's get right into it. Just a quick warning that there will be manga spoilers in this video unless you're watching after Season 7 is finished. Midoriya is the first of 5 characters we're going to cover today, and for his team I decided to give him 1 Pokemon each to represent the 6 extra quirks he received with One for All. The first of which is going to be Grimmsnarl to represent the Black Whip quirk. Grimmsnarl's growing hairs were the closest Pokemon equivalent to the binding power of Black Whip, and since I didn't have room on the team to add a Pokemon to represent the basic super strength aspect of One for All, Grimmsnarl's muscular build can also count for that. For float, I decided on Corviknight. I was thinking of Pokemon that are known for flying around trainers, and I really didn't want to use Charizard, so here we have Corviknight being the main flyer Pokemon of the Galar region, so it can help Midoriya fly around. For Danger Sense, I probably could have found a Psychic-type Pokemon that can predict the future, but I actually ended up deciding on Ariados, cause, you know, like Spider Sense. Sorry, I just had to include a Spider-Man reference on the team. Galarian Weezing is here to represent Smokescreen, simple enough. I chose the Galarian form because it's just much more pleasant looking. I could not imagine Midoriya using the normal Cantonian one. Fajin turns kinetic energy into power, so I actually ended up deciding on Swalot. It has this gooey body that can take in attacks and dish them back out, so it's kind of a close fit. It's the best thing I could think of. And finally, I chose Ninjask to represent Gearshift, as it's the fastest non-legendary Pokemon. So Midoriya's quirky team is Grimmsnarl, Corviknight, Ariados, Galarian Weezing, Swalot, and Ninjask. Next, we're going to talk about Uraraka's team that represents her quirk, personality, and special moves. Her ace Pokemon I decided on as Hatenna, as it overall represents her emotional intelligence and her empathetic personality. Her next Pokemon is Alolan Raichu, a Pokemon that can float just like her, but it also has this really cheery aesthetic that just reminds me of her. Her third team member is Ambipom. It really just represents how her power comes from her hands, and Ambipom is like the hand Pokemon. Sawk is here because of Minior represents her attacks that are based on meteors, like the Comet Home Run and the Meteor Storm, and it also floats, which is a plus. And finally I gave her an Applin for kind of a silly reason, but hear me out. It's said that giving someone an Applin is a romantic gesture in the Pokemon world. So this member can kind of represent the All Might keychain that she received from Midoriya, if you stretch it a bit. With all that said, Uraraka's Urava team is Hatenna, Alolan Raichu, Ambipom, Sawk, Minior, and Applin. Next, let's talk about Ida, and his main partner is going to be Revavroom because it is literally an engine. His next member is Oranguru to represent his leadership skills as the president of 1A, since Oranguru is known to instruct other Pokemon. Golurk represents his robotic movements and dancing. Kinda funny, but I thought it fit. For his overall intelligence, I gave him Alakazam as it is the most intelligent Pokemon. And then Blaziken is most well known for its Blaze Kick attack, so it represents the fire that comes out of Ida's leg engines. And finally I gave him Kangaskhan, which kind of ties into Ingenium's motto of always guiding lost children. So Ida's full team is Revavroom, Oranguru, Golurk, Alakazam, Blaziken, and Kangaskhan. Now it's time to talk about Todoroki, who has a team full of icy hot Pokemon. To represent his quirk, I decided his main member would be a Vulpix based on him, having aspects from both its Cantonian and Alolan forms to use fire and ice. Now as you can tell, I'm not an artist, so you're seeing a really crappy mock-up I probably made in Photoshop somehow. I'm recording this before I made it. It's probably worse than I even imagined. But imagine it in your head. It is the perfect representation of his quirk. His next member is going to be Darmanitan, a Pokemon most well known for its Fire Punch attack. So this member represents the Flash Fire Fist move. Another one of Todoroki's ultimate moves is the Heaven-Piercing Ice Wall, so I gave him an Avalugg. Let's just say Avalugg likes to do handstands to turn itself into a wall? We'll just go with that. Centiskorch is here to represent the Hell Spider ultimate move. Chansey makes a surprising appearance, but it's here to represent the first aid units Todoroki carries around his waist on his costume. And if you looked at the thumbnail, you'll see that his final member is Poltegeist. 'Cause, you know. Anyway, Todoroki's half-and-half team consists of Vulpix, Darmanitan, Avalugg, Centiskorch, Chansey, and Poltegeist. Finally, it's time for the fan-favorite character of Bakugo. His ace Pokemon is Armarouge, as its arms can turn into cannons that really remind me of Bakugo's gauntlets and his ultimate move. It also has a really cool mask on its face that looks like Bakugo's mask. Magmortar is also here, and it has a similar cannon and fiery personality. Pineco is actually based on a grenade, so it represents the grenades Bakugo makes. Next is Electrode, as it's the Pokemon most well known for using the move Explosion. Talonflame is the fastest fire-type Pokemon in the Pokedex, so it represents Bakugo's explosive speed that only gets faster as the series goes on. And finally, I gave him a Love Disc, cause, well... But in all seriousness, Bakugo has grown into a very caring individual, even if he shows it in a bizarre way. So this Pokemon represents that caring side of him, but also for the memes. In any case, Bakugo's exploding team is Armarouge, Magmortar, Pineco, Electrode, Talonflame, and Love Disc. So there you have it, Pokemon teams if some My Hero characters had Pokemon. Let me know in the comments what team you'd give your favorite My Hero character, and stay tuned for the next video where I might cover another anime's Pokemon teams, so tell me in the comments what anime you would like me to cover next. Follow the links in the description to continue the conversation, and I'll see you in the next one.